Shalom, saints. Happy third day of the Feast of Tabernacles. I pray for you and your family. It's been a blessed event full of joy and new experiences. My name is Raah. I'm with the THWMinistry. I greet all the followers of the Most High, the chosen seed. We give all glory and honor to the Most High, El Elyon. And today is part 2 of becoming one. I want to make sure to make this clear. I don't have anything against single mothers. I know it is something that came about because of whatever reason between a woman and a man, right? Back in the past, it was more of death, divorce. Today, it's more of, hey, you weren't even married anyway. We got too many teenage girls having babies. We got too many people that don't value marriage having babies. So although I'm not preaching or teaching against single mothers, I know it's something that happens. I don't preach to single mothers. I don't preach for it, right? It's something that the Bible has no principles for. It's something that should never have happened, right? We started part 1 talking about a man leaving his father and mother to cleave to his wife, right? A wife wouldn't leave a home until she had a husband, right? And then the type of wife that a man would find would be an agreeable woman, so that they could have a conversation about whatever's going on, and him and her could come to the right decision to move forward. That was kind of part 1 yesterday. So today we got 2 more scriptures that we're going to cover, that we're going to go into a little bit more about what makes good marriages, how we should raise our children. Like, hey, if you're married now and you got all kind of baggage and you're working with it and you're suppressing it, whether it be male or female, like, and y'all are able to come to some agreement, y'all are able to have a healthy marriage, good for you that you are fighting through whatever it was that made you not a good husband or a good wife. You were able to change your ways and able to fight through it to have some sort of functioning relationship, not dysfunctional, right? There's many dysfunctional relationships and they all end in divorce, right? And I'm not really preaching about going to get marriage certificates and stuff like that. I'm really preaching about the vows that you make to the Most High and the principles you stand on as a woman and as a man, coming together to try to have a functioning, healthy relationship to raise godly children, right? That's really what I'm on, and that's what this is about, right? So let's look at the third scripture. We're going to come from the Apocrypha. First Esdras chapter 4. First Esdras 4, what do I want? And 25. So this is the third. So we're going to do 2 scriptures a day. So here is number 3, or number 1 for today. First Esdras 4 and 25. It says, wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father and mother. So first, a man would only leave his home to establish his own house with his own wife, right? An agreeable wife, right? That means also, husbands, you would have learned what that means. You would have had a father and a grandfather example, and you would know what a functioning role model for a man looks like, right? So that when you get a disagreeable wife, you don't vex her and make her become an disagreeable wife, right? And then women, you should have been raised by an agreeable mother, seen an agreeable grandmother, so you would know how to treat that loving husband, right? So husbands are to love their wife more than father and mother, because you can see on TikTok and stuff like that, you got women asking men, all right, who's first, and if there's a burning building, or who would you let sit in the front seat, me or your mother or your daughter, right? You're giving a man a choice of choosing out his mother, his significant other, or his daughter, right? Well, obviously, if you're married, it would be you, the spouse. But if you're not married, it would make sense for a man to say his mother, or even in dysfunction, his daughter. But you see how rules get blurred when there is no vow to the Most High. There's no biblical principles stood on. But when you stand on biblical principles, yeah, yes, sir, you're supposed to love your wife and you're supposed to put her first over father and mother. And you're not supposed to stay in your parents' house. You're supposed to go establish your own house. Does that make sense? Okay. Well, let's go to our second passage. We're going to go to Ecclesiasticus. So we got one flesh, we got agreeing together, and we got husbands, love your wife more than father and mother. Okay, now let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 26. Ecclesiasticus 26, verse 24. Ecclesiasticus 26, verse 24. It reads, a dishonest woman contemneth shame. And that word means brings shame, right? It means she's mocked and shunned. Back in the days of the forefathers, or back in the days, Israelites, they would shun and mock women that were dishonest, right? You say, what is dishonest? Dishonest is a woman that isn't agreeable, pretending to be agreeable to get a man. Right, we see that all the time, right? Women trying to get pregnant, they're at the hotels trying to trap athletes, just beautiful, making themselves up like Jezebel, just hanging around, looking for the young man who don't know no better, so they can trap him into either marriage. They don't want to be there. They just want the child. They want the child support and maintenance. Like, that's a reality. That's not like something that I'm making up. Like, this is reality. They got blogs and they got shows and TV shows about side chicks and women who are just following football teams and basketball teams around the country, trying to get young men to just look at them physically and lay with them and procreate with them. That's not the biblical way. Okay, well, let's take it away from rappers and football players and people with millionaires. On the regular level, we got women who are, what do they call it? They're daters, right? I'm not a whore, right? Everyone I sleep with, I date, but I'm dating 4 or 5 men in a year. And then when I get pregnant by one of them, I have no intention of marrying them, right? I just put them on child support, right? Like, it's just a lot of dishonest things going around, right? And a lot of dishonest things that people do, male and female, right? And the male is just as to blame, sleeping around with women he has no intention of marrying, nor would he want to take care of the child if she gets pregnant. All of that, there's no biblical principles for that kind of activity, right? So the intention is not to leave your home unless you're getting a wife. And a wife and you that you choose should be agreeable. And husbands, you should love that woman, everything about her, right? So the first part is women should not be dishonest, but if they are dishonest, they should be shunned and marked, right? It should be shameful. They should not get away with it, right? But look at the second part of this verse. It says, dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. What is the point that you think Raah wants from that? Right? A woman that is honest reverences her husband. Sisters and brothers, you don't read a lot of scriptures where it says a woman's supposed to love her husband. If you think about a lot of marriages being arranged in the past, a lot of young girls, it wasn't love at first. You grew to love them, but what they did was they honored and respect them, right? Reverenced their husband. Like today, I'm going to be flat out honest. You sisters who want a marriage to work, here's it in a nutshell. Number one, you should be agreeable. You should be the type of woman that be like, okay, husband, you lead, you make the decision, good or bad, whatever happens in the decision, we're going to ride with it. Reverence your husband, right? Be agreeable, right? Didn't say you had to love him. A lot of marriages don't happen out of love at first. Here's the biggest fake. Here's the biggest dishonesty. I love you, boo. I'm gonna take you to Ruth Chris. I'm gonna buy you flowers and roses. We're gonna walk on the beach. But honestly, if a woman wasn't ever raised to be a wife, or a man wasn't raised to be a husband, it doesn't work. You're spending millions of dollars. I ain't going out on a date with a man unless he drives this and he has this kind of money and he takes me these kind of places. Those marriages never work. If we don't raise our children with the biblical principles, they're doomed for divorce. They're doomed to be baby mamas and baby fathers and go through that struggle of hatred. And you know what I mean? It's just not shameful to do shameful things anymore. And it's sad out here, sisters and brothers. Now, my goal with this, I hope it helps somebody, but I hope it helps you raise children better, right? As I try to raise my children better, because I don't want them to go through the stuff that I went through, right? That I've seen, that the Bible teaches against. I don't want them to go through dysfunction. I want them to live healthy, blessed, functional lives. And I want that for you and your children and great-grandchildren. Well, I went longer than I wanted to. I pray that your tabernacle continues to be blessed. And we'll see you, if the Most High says the same, on the next video tomorrow on day 4. Be blessed. Shalom.